What's up, Cowboys Nation? Welcome back to another pregame prediction video. This is week 6, the biggest game of the week, and maybe just not the week of the year, because the Philadelphia Eagles are 5-0, the only undefeated team in the NFL. They're going to be playing the Dallas Cowboys, sitting out 4-1 on a 4-game winning streak without their starting quarterback. Let's go ahead and jump on in, and let's talk about this game.
Down the field, Lamb, 10-5, victory! Touchdown, Ezekiel Elliott. How about the rookie Micah Parsons? What a play!
Defense wins championships, but the Super Bowl is won by the quarterback.
The Philadelphia Eagles are opening up as favorites. Last time I checked, when I'm making this video, they are favored by 6.5 points. And they are, like I said, they are the undefeated team. They are the only undefeated team in the NFL at the moment, let alone the NFC East. They sit at the top. And so not only is this a big game to shake things up potentially in the NFL, but to shake things up in the NFC East, as we know, is right now the NFC East, the NFC Beast, with the 5-0 Eagles, the 4-1 Giants, and the 4-1 Dallas Cowboys. Big game. It's going to be on Sunday Night Football, Lincoln Financial Field, and the Dallas Cowboys are going on the road, which right now they are undefeated. So I'm going to jump back to that just here in a second. But let's go ahead and jump on in and let's talk about this game and what I think are some key areas that we want to focus on as a fan. These are some things that I think are going to be essential to this game and how it pans out. Excuse me. First thing I want to talk about here is their offensive line versus our defensive line. This is where the bulk of the matchup is going to be, and whoever wins this matchup very well will probably win this game. Because if their offensive line is able to hold off our stellar, stacked defensive line, then they would have given their quarterback, Jalen Hurts, time to throw the ball, time to run the ball, the ability to run the ball behind Miles Sanders. If they're able to succeed in that, they're going to be able to control the time of possession. They're going to be able to control the clock. They're going to be able to control the tempo of their game and do whatever they want. But now on the other side of the ball, if the Dallas Cowboys are able to do what they have done in the past 4 games against the Cincinnati Bengals and Joe Burrow, against Daniel Jones and at the time the undefeated Giants, Carson Wentz and the Commanders, and Matthew Stafford and the Los Angeles Rams. If they're able to do what they did against those 4 quarterbacks and those 4 offensive lines, then the Cowboys have given themselves their best chance to be able to win the game. Now, I'll say this. If the Eagles win this matchup, it's more easier for them to win the game. If the Cowboys win this matchup right here, well, they just give themselves a really good opportunity to win the game. I hope you caught my verbiage there. But let's take a look here at some of the statistics. The Eagles are one of the most talented teams in the NFL. Obviously, with the 5-0 record, and we'll kind of talk about the schedule here a little bit, because I hear, that that's the main criticism, is that the Philadelphia Eagles are 5-0 because of the easiness of their schedule. Now, that's a pretty good argument, and that's very true. We've seen that a lot of times in the NFL, especially with the Pittsburgh Steelers a few seasons ago, where they were 11-0. They definitely did not feel like, you couldn't say that the 11-0 Pittsburgh Steelers were the same as the undefeated New England Patriots back in 2007. And I don't think you can necessarily say that the 5-0 Philadelphia Eagles are as dangerous as the 5-0 New England Patriots when we faced them back in 2007. But regardless, this is where I stand, and I've said this a lot if you follow me on TikTok, Instagram, or any of those social platforms. I've always said that you really don't choose who you play. Everyone knows that. But the only thing that you can do is take care of those opponents. And basically, and they would be hearing it if they were 0-5. And I think they should still be hearing it when they are 5-0. It goes both ways. They've handled opponents. You look at this schedule. They play the Lions. They play the Vikings. They play the Commanders. They play the Jaguars. They play the Cardinals. It's the NFL. Any win is not easy. Any win is well-deserved, in my opinion. The Lions are a tough team. Obviously, the Vikings are 4-1. That was a stellar win. I believe it was on Monday Night Football Week 2. The Commanders are a division opponent. Jaguars gave them a lot of toughness in that first half where they got a really strong lead. And the Cardinals are explosive at times, and the Eagles snuck away in the last seconds based off of a last-second field goal being missed. But regardless, the Eagles have not faced a team like the Cowboys. But also on the other side of it, the Cowboys have not faced a defensive front like the Eagles. I will definitely give credit where credit is due. Because like I said, the Eagles are second in offense, fourth in defense, seventh in passing, fourth in rushing. And those are all passing yards statistically. And on the other side of that, you have the Cowboys who are 27th in offense, which is going to be a huge area that I'm going to talk about. They're ninth in defense, and they're incredible. They're actually number one in pressures, which I'm going to talk about here in a little bit. They're 27th in passing with Cooper Rush at the helm, and they're 15th in rushing. So better half of the league right there. But let me tell you what the big matchup is going to be here as we zoom a little bit closer in on their offensive line versus our defensive line. When Jalen Hurts is not pressured, according to PFF, he has a 90.5 QBR in the offense, which is pretty good. He's also averaging 9.9 yards per attempt, which is also great. That actually leads the league. He's first. He also has a 73% completion rate, which is third in the league. So you look at those stats when no pressure is in his face and when he's not on the run, he's a really great quarterback. And I think a lot of quarterbacks can do equally the same job there. I think it's very, if you're going to be a national quarterback in the National Football League, you're going to make those passes. Now, however, when he is pressured, when there is a hand in his face, and when there's arms on his body trying to take him down to the ground and they got him running, well, that 90.5 QBR drops down to a 57.3, which is the bottom 5 in the NFL. That 9.9 per attempt that I talked about drops down to a 5.8, which is second to last in the league. That 73% completion percentage that I was talking about, which is very impressive, well, it drops down to a 58% completion rate. What I'm trying to say here is, although Jalen Hurts has been great, and he's been a huge part in the reason why the Eagles are 5-0, there are some issues when he is pressured. Now, on the other side of that, the Cowboys, since we're talking about pressure, well, their defense just so happens to lead the NFL in pressures. 126 to be exact. And so you're telling me the NFL, the Dallas Cowboys, who are number one in the NFL, with creating pressure. It's just not, let's snap the ball and let our guys have it. It's formation. It's schemes. It's the rotation. It's all based off of that. Dan Quinn creates pressure and creates opportunities for his players to have pressure. And you better believe that Jalen Hurts is going to have a hand in his face. He's going to have, someone's going to tackle him. Someone's going to sack him. This game is not going to be as easy as the Eagles want it to be. They are not going to have a clean pocket. The Cowboys will get to Jalen Hurts. No doubt about it. But this is a big game for Jalen Hurts. Because although he hasn't played a team like the Dallas Cowboys, this is an opportunity in his young career to step up. Sunday Night Football, your team's 5-0. You're getting early chat about MVP. So this is a big game for him to step up and step in and evade the pressure, step into the moment. The question is, do I believe he's going to do it? As your unbiased, realistic Dallas Cowboys fan, no way. He's definitely not doing that. Not against Micah Parsons, not against DeMarcus Lawrence, so on and so forth. I know they got home field advantage, and I'm pretty sure they're going to come out just riled up, hot and ready. They're going to be on fire. I wouldn't be surprised if they got a big lead against us, maybe 14-0 to start the game. But once the game settles, and once we start attacking in the trenches and winning at the line of scrimmage, this game is going to slowly turn back on over because defense wins championships, and the Cowboys have a better defense. Now, speaking about pressure, you can also look at the other side of that because at number 2 with the most pressures in the NFL, you have the San Francisco 49ers, and at number 3, you actually have the Philadelphia Eagles sitting at 98. I mentioned that their defense is ranked 4th in the league in terms of yards. And so let's go ahead and talk about how our offense is going to respond to their defense, because that in itself is a big matchup. Again, Dak Prescott will most likely not play this game. I say most likely because at the time I'm making this video, and about an hour or 2 hours ago, it was announced that his status for Sunday's game was upgraded to did not practice to limited. So, is there a chance that he plays? Who knows? But we're preparing this video in the same way that Mike McCarthy told the media. We're going to prepare for Cooper Rush to start against the Eagles. But even if Dak Prescott plays, let's play around with that, because even if Dak Prescott plays, you have to look at last week, and if Cooper Rush completed 10 of 16, threw for 102 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions, and had a QBR of, I think it was 16.8, if you're telling me that that's all Dak Prescott has to be, I think he can play. I think I'm okay with him playing, because I know Dak Prescott's going to give more of a statistical performance than what Cooper Rush gave last week. Regardless, that's as much as I'm going to touch on the huge hypothetical there if Dak Prescott's going to play. But the Dallas Cowboys, they're going to try to establish the run. This has been their bread and butter for the past couple of weeks. And when they're able to run the ball, and I talked about this last week in my video, that the Dallas Cowboys aren't really game planning aggressively or conservatively. In fact, what they're doing is just game planning very smart. And they're really just trying to set Cooper Rush into, they're trying to position him in the best situations that he can succeed. And Cooper Rush, like I said and believe, he's an above average backup quarterback in the NFL. So when you give him those opportunities to make those throws, make those passes, well, he's going to come down with it because he is a talent. He is very good in those situations. And so when the Cowboys establish the run and they keep the ball out of Cooper Rush's hands, and when he's not, when they're not depending on their quarterback to make plays and to get him back in the game, and you've seen the Cowboys fall back on that running game, well, Cooper Rush has been successful. I think it's going to be a different story come Sunday night. I think we're probably going to see the most contested that Cooper Rush has ever been in his 6 games as an NFL starter. He's 5-0. He's undefeated against the Philadelphia Eagles, who are 5-0. Something has to give here. And I think Cooper Rush, this game is really going to come down to him. I think the Cowboys defense is going to neutralize Jalen Hurts and their running and their offense. I think that's going to be neutralized. What's really going to come down to, are the Eagles going to be able to stop the run? I think they have a pretty good chance of doing that. But this game's going to come down to Cooper Rush's hands. Can he throw more than 10 of 16, 102 yards, and at least throw a touchdown or two and keep the ball safe and play smart football? Everyone talks about the yards, everyone talks about the completion rate, but the most important stat to Cooper Rush right now, 0 interceptions. 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. That's the most important thing that you need from your quarterback, is not turning the ball over, whether it's a forced fumble, strip sack, or just a simple interception. In my opinion, Cooper Rush, this game is going to come down to him, and is he going to be able to step up again against a really good team, a very aggressive team on the road in prime time. Now, I'll tell you this, Cooper Rush in the prime time is a different kind of Cooper Rush than what you see in the early games or in the afternoon games. Primetime Cooper Rush is something else. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see. The Dallas Cowboys red zone offense has to improve. This defense is great. We love watching it, but the offense has to contribute to this win. You have to score more than a touchdown. You have to score at least 2 touchdowns to give this team a chance come Sunday night. You look at the red zone conversion from week 2 to week 5 when Cooper Rush has been the quarterback. Week 2, we started out great. 2 of 2. We got 2 touchdowns against the Cincinnati Bengals. Week 3, we went 2-4, 50%, but we were able to get the win against the New York Giants. Week 4, we went 1-3, 33%. You see the trend here. It's going down. Week 5, we went 0 of 2, 0% chance, 0% succession rate in the red zone. It's going down. We have to succeed in the red zone. We will not be able to beat the Philadelphia Eagles by field goals alone. If the Cowboys offense does not score more than 2 touchdowns, this game might actually be over, because you're not getting the luxury of the defense scoring again for you. When the defense scores, it's a really awesome coincidence. They applied the pressure. They made the tackle. It's usually the offense who loses the ball, fumbles the ball, throws the interception. But when a defense scores a touchdown, it's a big thing. That's why it's celebrated. That is something that the Cowboys cannot depend on. They need to score come Sunday. So let's go to talk about my prediction here now that we've talked about the two most important things that I think are going to happen in this game and things that we should look out for, because that's how this game is going to slowly unravel. I think the Eagles score 2 touchdowns. And why is that important? Well, because the Dallas Cowboys have not allowed more than 1 touchdown against their opponents. So I think the Philadelphia Eagles are the first team to do that against our defense. I think they get 2 touchdowns. I think they're also the first team to score 20 points against our defense. Another statistic where the Dallas Cowboys have not allowed anyone to score over 20 against their team. That's my prediction. But I also believe that that is all that they will score. That I believe that the Philadelphia Eagles will only score 20 points on Sunday Night Football. Because on the other side, I also believe, and here's the statistics. The Cowboys are 2-1 at home. But this game is on the road. And the Dallas Cowboys are 2-0. Or let's use the other word that the Philadelphia Eagles like to throw around a lot. And that's the Cowboys are undefeated on the road. Another thing to notate. The Dallas Cowboys are 2-0 in the division, beating the Giants and the Commanders. Using the same word that the Eagles like to use, well, the Dallas Cowboys are undefeated in the NFC East. And so I believe that the Cowboys are going to only allow 20 points and the Eagles are only going to score 20 points, because I believe that the Dallas Cowboys are road warriors. They're defensive beast. In fact, the Dallas Cowboys, they defeat the undefeated. I talked about being undefeated in the division. How about you ask the New York Giants how their undefeated season went? That's right. We gave them their first loss. The Dallas Cowboys go into your home on your turf in front of your fans, and we give you the first loss of your season. And you want to know something else? The Dallas Cowboys own the NFC East, because last time I checked, we were undefeated in the division last year, and also we were NFC East champs. So the road to the NFC East championship comes through Dallas. You have to beat us. We own the East. The Dallas Cowboys are going to win this game 21-20. It's going to be a close game. It's going to be fought in the trenches. It's going to go back and forth. It's going to be like a slugfest. It's just going to be like a boxing match going back and forth. Who's going to deliver the biggest blow? But the Dallas Cowboys are going to be victorious, and they're going to win 21-20 to extend their winning streak to 5-1, and they will give the Philadelphia Eagles their first loss of the season, and the Dallas Cowboys will be first in the NFC East after Sunday night. That's what I think. That's what I think. The Dallas Cowboys are going to do exactly that. Go ahead and comment down below your prediction of what's going to happen on Sunday Night Football. Is there something that I missed? Is there a matchup that you want to key in on? But lastly, I will ask you this a little bit from the game itself, but what's your favorite Cowboys-Eagles moment? I got to say, my favorite one is from November of 2005. The Cowboys and Eagles are playing Monday Night Football, and the Dallas Cowboys were down 20-7 with 4 minutes left. And then Drew Bledsoe threw a touchdown in the red zone to Terry Glenn to take that lead to 20-14. For all my real Cowboy fans, you know exactly what happened next, because Donovan McNabb stepped back in the pocket and he threw a dot right to our safety, Roy Williams, number 31. And what he did next was amazing, because he took that interception, he bolted towards the end zone, and the Dallas Cowboys pulled off an upset that night, and they won 21-20. I did not expect my prediction score would be the same thing, but it just happened to be that way. But that's one of my favorite Cowboy Eagles moments. Going to comment down below yours. But thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, be sure to subscribe for more Cowboys content. I will see you guys after the game Sunday night. Be sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok and Twitter, and I will see you guys next time.
Down the field, Lamb, 10-5, victory! Touchdown, Ezekiel Elliott. How about the rookie Micah Parsons? What a play!
Defense wins championships, but the Super Bowl is won by the quarterback.